Obsessive darkness. Livia has always been a restless sleeper, but lately her nightmares have become disturbing. Every night, she dreamed of a decrepit old house in the middle of nowhere, with dark, mysterious shadows lurking around every corner. She would wake up in a cold sweat, her heart racing, unable to shake the fear that gripped her. One night, in the midst of one of these nightmares, Livia saw a name written on the wall of the house. When she woke up, she remembered the name and went to search. She found that it was the name of a small town she had never heard of, but which wasn't that far from where she lived. Over the weekend, driven by the desire to put an end to her disturbing nightmares, she decided to embark on a trip to that city. Upon arrival, Livia began asking local residents for information about the old mansion she had seen in her dreams. The more she asked, the more details of the place came to her mind. Everyone she talked to spoke about the same abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. Despite her fears, Livia couldn't resist the urge to visit the house and see it with her own eyes. As she walked towards the old mansion, she could feel her heart beating faster. Her chest was burning slightly inside. The garden gates were rusted and ajar, as if the place were inviting her in. She pushed them off and walked towards the residence. Upon arriving at the mansion, the front entry door was unlocked. The interior had remnants of a luxurious era, but it was so deteriorated that everything was even more macabre than she had imagined. The walls were covered in dirt and cobwebs, and there was a smell of rot in the air. Livia's fear only increased as she advanced through the mansion. She felt as if she were being watched, and every sudden noise made her shiver. Suddenly, she heard a low growl and realized she wasn't alone in the mansion. She felt a shiver run through her body and a sense of dread invaded her. Livia knew she needed to get out of the mansion as soon as possible. Then she heard footsteps approaching. Heart racing, Livia turned and saw a figure emerge from the shadows. He was a tall, frightening-looking man. His eyes were dark and vacant. There was no sharp definition to his features, and his skin was pale as a corpse's. He lunged at her, and Livia screamed in terror. As she struggled to free herself from the tight grip caused by that bizarre man, she felt her body lose heat. The cold feeling drained the energy from her body. She began to feel suffocated, heard her heartbeat getting lower and lower, almost like a whisper. It was then that she remembered an old prayer taught by her grandmother, when Livia was still very small. She started reciting the verses of the prayer aloud, with all the strength left in her lungs. Suddenly, a bright light filled the room, breaking through the darkness where she and that creature were shrouded. The man's grip on her loosened. Livia realized that somehow she had summoned a powerful divine force that was protecting her from that evil. Feeling supernatural strength, Livia fought the creature and managed to push it away. Visibly weakened, the bizarre man fled into the darkness of another room in the mansion. When leaving that place, Livia was certain that she had gone through a liberation, and a sense of peace that she had never felt took over her body. Livia realized that her journey had been more than just a quest to end her nightmares. It was a journey of self-discovery, of learning to face your fears, finding your inner strength and connecting with divine power.